Oh man. Oh man. That's crazy. Okay. Oh man. They were call not a COVID cough. All right. Let's. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Okay, we're live. You need to send them the link. Yeah.
A new Skype link?
No. Um, YouTube.
I just sent it to the YouTube page.
Oh, okay.
So when we go live, they're on there. You're not sharing. Look at us. See, oh, it's too dark because the lights died.
The lights got it.
The colorful lights. I think they're shorting out because sometimes the ones in the other room go out.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's see something.
Oh, it's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Ew, you made the seat hot.
My bad.
Ew, ew. Oh, you were farting. This is disgusting.
No. Oh, okay.
My jeans are ruined.
Not, okay. Let's.
Okay, so I told people 8:30.
Okay.
So let's just chill. For anybody who's tuned in, we're just going to hang out and continue to get ourselves situated while we wait for a few more of our viewers to come in because we're starting at 8:30. So,
Let me connect to the speaker real quick.
okay, the Bluetooth, right?
Let me just check the.
So in the meantime, we're going to get our background music playing. And today, if you're here early, you're going to hear the show preview.
Right.
So this is season 2, episode 12 of Poetry Slam. And this is our first June episode ever, which is so fun.
Exactly.
And we are going to be sharing some new poems. Like, I wrote some new poems.
I wrote some new poems and some poems that you've heard probably before, but they're updated.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So we've got some new content for you. And we also are going to have a special guest. Tay DZ is going.
DZ.
Yes, he's going to drop in, and we're going to play Name That Poem with him. And we're going to do Name That Poem a little bit differently. We're going to feature poems from our favorite poetry authors.
Facts.
So I pulled up 3, but at least 2 will do the job so that everybody can take a turn guessing or naming that poem.
Right. Right.
And we're also going to talk about a little bit of news with Tay DZ because he's a guy who likes to keep up with current events. And to close out the show, we're going to try rearranging an old poem. That's an exercise. Then we're going to play some music because we have some special guests that we've had that, are promoting their songs right now, going on tours and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
This is so cool that we're finally doing a YouTube channel and we're finally doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad. This is the first.
Of many.
Do we need that Skype picture up? Can we end that? We can't end it.
Because it would mess up the call, mess up the show thing.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it can call.
We can't hang up, but the computer.
Yeah. So we got 5 viewers so far.
Okay, awesome.
Go ahead and tell us who you are in the comments.
Oh yeah, awesome. So you're listening to Poetry Slam with K Bells.
And your boy Napoleon B. Mike.
So this is our very first June episode, and we're so excited. We've got some new poems to share with you all. Napoleon B. Mike.
Yeah.
You start with the new.
Oh, I gotta start with the new.
You gotta start with the new.
Give us 1 second.
You know what? I should know better than to ask Napoleon B. Mike to start, because this happens every single time. I think he's ready, and then he comes with this, I need a second, oh, I gotta, and then there's just silence. So should I take his slot?
Yes,
I feel like I should take the slot.
Just take the slot, Kay.
Okay. So I have a couple of poems that I have written just completely brand new, and some that I have revised. So I'm going to read my first shorty because I think, well, it's a shorty. Let's just warm it up. I'm a slow burn, famous for that. So this one is titled Shorty 1. That sounds like a Napoleon B. Mike problem. I'm just kidding. That's very important.
Man.
We've been having a lot of technical difficulties this show, which is why we started so late. We couldn't get our broadcasting program mix to work. That's usually the problem when we can't broadcast on air. So our new solution to that is broadcasting here on YouTube, because we think this will be more consistent so that when mix isn't working, we can still go live to our audience. So we're trying that for the first time. And I'm going to start us off with a poem while Napoleon B. Mike figures out what he's figuring out. Okay, this is called Shorty 1. Silence is a silent cosign. So, I feel like this is a tweet.
No, that's definitely a tweet.
I didn't steal it from Twitter. I only go on Twitter really for Love Island, but this is just something I thought on my own.
Love Island.
Yes. So one thing I'm already really liking about this YouTube live streaming is that you can catch all of our facial reactions now, because sometimes we kind of like go crazy with our silent communication, and we're holding back some giggles here, but you can see everything now.
Yeah, you can't really hide.
No. Cat, what? Well, Napoleon B. Mike, who always wants the lights turned off. We have the fluorescent tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So since you did your poem, I'm gonna do one of mine. No, I'm good. It's picking me up. Let's do. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Wait, am I plugged in?
Okay, we're figuring it out.
Yep, we are. Okay.
Okay. Should I go twice?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like the rest of my poems are really, really strong. I really want to slam with you with these other poems I have. That shorty was literally the shortest one. Probably one of the shortest poems I've ever written, because it's one line and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. Yeah.
I really want
I mean, do you need to hear yourself?
I mean, kind of.
Oh, I guess that was the plug. So you guys are catching some behind the scenes during our episode, which is how we plug up our technology. Honestly, Napoleon B. Might is the tech person here.
Audio tech.
He's the audio tech, but he also set up our web live streaming. So it's like all around tech. I mean, I guess we can reveal to you how we divvy up our responsibilities. So I usually make the plan for the show, like the show notes. We do the like booking talent together. What do you mean? Oh, you're just that wasn't funny. Yeah, we acquisition talent together. I do the bulk of the marketing. I mean, when there's a tweet, it's more than likely coming from Napoleon B. Might.
Yep.
And if it's Instagram, it's more than likely coming from me. K-Bells. And like any flyers you may see, Twitter or Instagram coming from me. Yeah. So I heard some feedback there. How are we coming along?
I'm trying to still hear myself.
Are you plugged in?
Yeah, I'm plugged in.
Okay. Do you want my headset? Because I don't care to hear myself.
Let's see.
I don't mind giving you my headset.
No, it's all good.
Okay,
Anyway.
so how about we continue with Napoleon B. Might's poem so that we can, get our slam nice and hot.
Okay. Let's do. It's not a shorty, by the way.
Okay, I've got something for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. This one is called To the Women I Thought I Loved. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I poked more holes in your trust. I'm sorry I fell in lust instead of love. I don't know why I'm just now apologizing. Yeah. I don't know why I'm just now apologizing, but I am. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to take the time to get to know you. I'm sorry we didn't get to go out on dates. I'm just sorry. I caused more confusion in your life. I'm sorry for my nonchalantness. I truly never meant to hurt you. I never meant to cause you more pain. I'm sorry for the abuse of your heart, for taking advantage of your feelings you had for me, for not really loving you the way you needed to be loved. I pray every night that you are forgiving me, not just for me, but also for you. I hope that when you see me with a new girl, that those feelings of hurt and anger don't come back for your sake. I hope that when you hear or read the poem or poems I wrote about you, that those old scars don't reopen.
Okay, wow.
Bless you,
Thank you. I sneezed off audio. So, first of all, I'm not surprised to hear a poem like this from you because you are a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
And I know that you have been having a lot of girlfriends. So I'm not at all surprised. Well, yeah.
Let me clarify something that Kay is misinterpreting.
Oh,
They
no.
are not girlfriends. They are friends that are girls that just so happen to have romantic feelings for me.
Oh, okay. So you're trying out being Casanova. Are you being a heartbreaker? Are you?
Not anymore. That was the old me. That
Oh.
was the Chris in college. Now I'm not a hopeless romantic. I mean, I am a hopeless romantic, but I'm not a heartbreaker.
Oh, so before writing that poem, that's who you were.
Yeah.
After writing that poem, you're regular.
Very much so.
Okay. Well, so what drove you to write it?
I was listening to poetry on my way home from work, as I do, and a poem that the artist that was talking was speaking whenever you the poem that the artist was saying was just like, yo, I should write something similar or something to just on the other side of it, you know?
Okay. That's an interesting perspective. Personally, I write things at the end of a chapter to say goodbye to that chapter or help me to emotionally detach from that mental space. So it was interesting that you were trying to gain a new perspective with this poem. So what have you done differently, or is it just a mind change right now?
It's being more, yeah, that's a mind change right now. I'm also talking to someone. I don't know if she's watching or listening, but hey,
Old habits die hard.
hey, hey,
Hey.
anyway, I just I wrote that to just be like, I'm not that person anymore.
Okay. So I'm hearing that it was partially a declaration of love, saying, that's the old me and the new me is for you, baby. Yeah.
I guess you can put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still in the game.
Yeah.
I'm not fooled. You're still in the game. Yeah?
I'm not still in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is my poem. I have a little list here, so I'm just going to. Actually, I'm already out of order. So let me just start at the top.
Oh man.
I don't know if this is appropriately titled, so you let me know. Should I rename this poem?
Rename that poem. That should be a new game. That should be a new game.
Sodaholic. Don't you look at what I'm doing. I'm minding my bubbles. Mm-hmm. The sleepies, achy bellies, itchy foreheads, and busted knuckles. Ale, whatever you need. A fat eye, cracked heel, rickety back. I have the medicine. What's that? Oh, a broken heart. Have dew of the mountain for that. My, a wet scalp is nothing coca can't fix. And please, tell me you have something going with your kidneys. I've got the perfect remedy. A pure kid dream. Pepsi.
Okay, K-Bells. That was a new poem. That was something different coming from you.
Yeah, I was feeling really cheeky.
Oh man.
Yeah. What did you think?
That was a good one.
Really?
I liked it.
I was thinking maybe I should put something in there like cream soda. Okay, because I had dream in there. I was like, oh, maybe I could like rhyme dream with cream, like cream soda or something. If I rework it, maybe. But I think it's cute. I really like this one too. It's lighthearted.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, very different. I feel like in the last show, I read poems like very introspective, very much sad soul. This was me letting loose. I'm fizzly, like a soda. Yeah. All right.
Okay. I don't know why, but I'm on a love poem kick right now.
Gotcha.
So this is a poem to my, well, the girl I'm currently talking to. bring light to my life. You call me perfect, but I am far from it. You say I'm handsome, but there are days where I can barely look at myself in the mirror. You are beautiful. You are sweet. You are kind. You are the best type woman I've ever had besides the ones in my family. Ma'am, you truly have no idea how low my confidence is some days, but you bring it up when you give me a compliment. And I don't have to look around for the other shoe to drop or the knife to come flying at my back. You have been through so much in the past, and I want to show you the love you missed, that unconditional love. But some days I can barely show the love. I can barely show myself the love I need. I tend to love myself conditionally. Sometimes my insecurities get the best of me, but I'll try not to put them onto you.
Wow, you sound smitten. Who is the mystery woman?
That will be revealed at a later date.
Oh, okay. Don't act like a celebrity.
Uh-huh.
Don't act like a celebrity.
Oh,
Like,
man.
oh, you have to reveal your relationship on social media.
No, no, no. I mean, it's time will tell when. Well, she will be revealed when it's time.
Okay. Well, I like the consistency. And I think you made an interesting point with loving self conditionally. I think we develop bad habits with that. And it's really interesting how we put so many restrictions on ourselves, but we are so accepting of other people with their good and their bad. And then that, ties into rose-colored glasses when you first become infatuated with someone.
Yeah, that's very true. I just realized that like I'm the type that will like get really down on myself if I make a mistake. But like when I'm in love or when I'm trying to show someone love, I will give them that grace.
Are you in love, or is this rose-colored glasses?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Very
I'm
introspective question.
I'm gonna say I'm in love.
Ooh, you took the bold route.
Yes.
Okay, taking a chance.
Because I don't want to. Um, I just don't want to. I've gotten to a point where I've not taken those chances before, and it ends up being a heartbreak situation for the other person. So I'm going to take that chance right now and say I am in love. So,
Wow.
hey.
Go for the gusto. So is this your first, second, third, fourth, fifth,
Oh
sixth,
my
seventh,
goodness,
ninth,
K
love?
Bells. K Bells. Why?
I just, you know me. I gotta come with the questions.
So I'm going to say this is my first.
Well, that's amazing. Nothing like the first.
Right, like it's just different, you know. And
Mm.
it feels different when you just take that chance.
There's definitely a difference between a first love and a first true love.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you saying this is both or definitely a first true?
Definitely a first true.
That's amazing. Very beautiful. I hope It is everything you are perceiving.
Yeah.
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 And I was just thinking, it's interesting that we go through poetry phases. Like right now, you're in a love poem phase. And
And kind of an apology poem phase.
Oh man, you're
Because,
just in an emotional wreck right now.
yeah, yeah, because it's just like I just feel like I have to apologize to those who I hurt as well. Because like I said, I don't I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore. So I just want to look back and apologize for the people, to the people that I've hurt, and just want to take this also as a chance to tell the person who I'm currently talking to that this is who I was, but you're getting the new version.
This is sounding like a 12-step recovery program. So
Oh
now
my-
I must ask you, what was your previous addiction? Like, I'm just kidding.
What do you mean? What was okay? If I'm being
You're
honest,
like, you know
if I'm
what?
being
My
honest-
name is Napoleon B.
Oh,
Knight, and
man.
I am a what? I confess to being a sodaholic. That's out there.
Love hard.
Wow.
Yep.
You get the rush from
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
That's, I feel top 10 best addictions. That's definitely in the top 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
most powerful and maybe most positive.
Also, like, but it's also if you abuse love, like
Yeah.
you would abuse a drug, you would hurt the person that you don't want to hurt. That happens with drugs too. Like, you can end up being so caught up in the drug
Yeah.
that you end up hurting the person, hurting people around you.
Yeah, you lose a sense of self, and then you lose a sense of awareness, and then when you come back, you realize the damage after it's been done.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so since you're on a love and apology kick, it is so convenient that I'm on the opposite,
Oh,
and
man.
I'm trying to write jokes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So my next poem is I think it's funny. So if you laugh, then I'll know that you think it's funny. This is called Life is a Highway. Life is a highway, and I want to be over it. Instead, I'm under the bridge, through the tunnel, around the corner, back on the interstate. Yeah, I wrote it. And that song, Life is a Highway, I wish I wrote it. Otherwise, I'm living on a prayer for the next flight. Okay, you didn't laugh, so I guess.
It was funny.
It was a mental laugh?
Yes, it was a mental laugh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so this poem is a revised version of a poem that I wrote of the same title. And I actually wrote it because I was inspired by my experience walking on a highway with my boyfriend. And then when I read it again, I was like, I can do better than this. Life is a Highway instantly makes me think of a song. So
Yeah.
let's just redo this one. And it was fun.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that.
Yeah.
No, it's different when you are just walking and you're just enjoying nature, you know?
We weren't enjoying nature. We were avoiding nature, and we were avoiding automobiles.
Facts.
Yeah, but it was a fun adventure. And I think that's at the heart of the song. Life is a highway. It's an adventure. You're on the road. You know, you've got to dodge a few semi-trucks. You've got to speed sometimes. You got to go really slow after you scare yourself, you know? So it's a journey. And I think it just rings true in almost every context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, slam back. I mean, I gave you good energy right
Yeah,
there.
you did.
Don't make me take the crown. I'll take it mercilessly.
I've only written two, but I've only written two new poems, and you've written how many?
I have written. Actually, I haven't read a brand new poem yet.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so the three that I read, Sodaholic, Shorty, and Life is a Highway, are all revised poems. But they sound completely different, which is interesting. Oh, and just to backtrack, we never decided whether or not Sodaholic should remain Sodaholic.
Um, bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yeah,
I'll have to ask the audience.
bubbly. I think bubbly would be a good renaming poem. I mean, renaming of the poem. This mic has a short in it, and I definitely have to speak louder. So, if I sound like I'm yelling, I'm sorry.
You always sound like you're
Oh
yelling.
my goodness.
You always
Hey,
sound like you're yelling.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So the rest of my poems are actually brand new.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna read. I don't think I read this one. This was when I was working at Sprouts, and
You worked at the grocery store?
yeah.
I did not know.
Oh man.
That's
Okay.
cool though, because
Yeah.
it's like a good hourly rate. It's like an ideal job.
Yeah. It was like 12 something. I don't
Oh,
know.
dang.
But yeah.
I guess it's Giant. That's like 15.
Probably.
Or Costco. It
Probably.
might be Costco. They pay their workers pretty well.
Yeah. Anyway. This was 2020 during COVID. Was working at the grocery store Sprouts, and yeah. Okay. So this is called So Far. So far, I like my job. Sometimes. I get along with my coworkers, and since I'm new, they help me when I need it. They're all nice to me. The reason why I say I sometimes like my job is because I'm a cashier. I don't like being cashier. One reason is because I'm dyslexic, and it shows, and it really shows when I'm even the slightest bit stressed, and I hate that. Even after I take a uh, few deep breaths, which is a little harder behind the mask, the stress and anxiety of screwing up comes back like a flood after a dam breaks. So far, I like this girl I met last week. We talk every day, pretty much the whole day. So far, she just wants to be friends. But but in my mind, I think we're too much alike, and we like most of the same things to be just friends. We talk so much all we talk so much all day. It's like a ping pong match. I feel like I've known her forever. Like she's the missing piece to my life. I want to tell her this, but I don't want to scare her off. But then again, it's better to take that leap and find out what happens, whether rather than dwell on what could have been if I just spoke up. I have a lot of those regrets. Not speaking up, not telling people how I feel, I used to rather hold on to my feelings than get hurt. I used to be afraid to take the leap to see where people's heads really are. So I took the leap. She said I'm a dope person, but she's looking for a soulmate and she doesn't see that in me. But I thought to myself, how do you know that for sure? But I'm not hurt. I understand so far.
Okay. Uh, I want to say I'm glad the poem became about self advocacy because I was definitely thinking, when are you ever the main character? Because as soon as you said something about a girl, I was like, it's always a girl. Like, she's always your main character.
It's not always. But
not always. I mean, sometimes. Here's the pattern I'm seeing with Napoleon B. Might's poems. If the poem is centered on Napoleon B. Might, he is the antagonist of the poem. Or you could argue he is the protagonist, but an anti-hero, which is an undesirable or, a hero without desirable qualities. Like, you probably won't root for this protagonist. So he's either the anti-hero or the antagonist when he's the main character of his poems, or he's the protagonist with a love interest and the girl is the co-protagonist or just completely the protagonist. Like, she is the main thing. So that's your two moods. Either antagonist or girl is protagonist.
So so the thing about that is, right, I I don't know why that is, but it just is. And it's crazy how how it's how it's just like how it's just like how it's like I don't I just don't know why that is. I just am the anti-hero in most of my poems, and it's just like, you know what? It's I'm it's like it's a pro and con. Cause like so two of my favorite um, superheroes or whatever you want to call them are Wolverine and Deadpool. So that probably translates to me being an anti-hero of most of my stories. Because Wolverine and Deadpool are anti-heroes.
I have a completely different theory. I know that's what you believe, but let me just say that I think you are the real life Edward Cullen from Twilight. What? Because, okay, I'm someone who's obsessed with teen drama. That's the niche that I want to write in or, make shows about. So in teen dramas, there's a protagonist, which is the teenage girl who has fallen for the sad boy, which is the modern bad boy, right? And of course, the boy, he has this like negative perception of himself. It's always a modern Beauty and the Beast story. So Edward is a vampire, so he's a monster, right? He has to feed on people, and he has a negative perception of himself. He thinks he hurts people. Oh, I don't deserve love, but I want love because I feel it. He's kind of an anti-hero, but he's made out to be desirable because it's through the perception of the protagonist who's fallen in love with him, right? So I feel like you are the real life Edward from Twilight because you don't see, or you play yourself up to be the villain when it's like your turn to give your perspective of the story. But as soon as your love interest enters, like you're humanized, it's like, oh, the main character, that's Bella. So you're like a constant teen drama saga.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What? You're trapped in a teen drama.
Oh man. But by the way, I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
But
this means someone can write a story about your life and make millions.
Okay,
Make sure you get your copyright.
So the girl I'm talking to said, "Life is a highway." She giggled. She liked it a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So I'm getting into comedy writing, guys.
Oh my goodness! Comedy poetry. Oh my goodness.
You know what? So a few months ago. Oh, thank you very much. First, I'm not sure of your name because Napoleon Nima wants to keep you top secret. So thank you, consistent and faithful listener. But a few months ago, we were also having technical difficulties. We did a show over Twitter Spaces, and we had a lot of interesting people from all over the world in on our open mic. And there was one guy who made a poem about a potato, and I thought it was so funny. And there was another guy who made a poem about basically girls he liked friend zoning him, and it was so funny. His repeated line was, "I am not your bro." And then he would say a couple lines, and then he was like, "I am not your bro," and I just thought that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
So those are my inspirations for my humorous poems that are suddenly coming out of me. It took a while to brew, but here they are.
Yeah.
Bubbling like soda.
Bubbly. So.
Oh, now you advocating for bubbly. Guys, it's Sodaholic.
It is bubbly. It is bubbly.
Sodaholic.
Bubbly is the name of the
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to say about your poem of your time at Sprouts?
Honestly, it was a fun experience. I met a lot of dope people. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Glad you have a positive perspective, because I wrote one poem about one job I had, but I wrote it because that job sucked. It was so bad. Like that, I quit. Like I never quit a job before. That. I quit.
Yeah.
They were so mean to me.
No, I quit Sprouts.
Oh.
But that's because...
You had to move on?
Well, not just that, but like... Well, yeah, I had to move on because, for one, they weren't paying. They weren't giving me the hours that I wanted.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, you know what? I'll just go do DoorDash and get paid by however many hours I do. And yeah.
Oh, okay. Well... Sometimes you just have to keep growing. When you're in a space, sometimes you grow so much that you become confined, and then you've outgrown it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. So I'm going to read an emotional poem, and I'm a little nervous because I didn't reread it after I revised it.
Oh, man.
So... who knows how much sense it actually makes? You know when you're writing a poem and you think you're writing the deepest thing ever. Like you think you're Maya Angelou, you know. You think you're Toni Morrison. You've got your vibe on. I had my vibe on writing this poem. So let's hear it. The truth. I don't know how to tell the truth. Because the truth sits between my eyes and slides down my nose bridge. I don't know how to handle emotion. They pound down on my sternum until it's mush, yet I still braid my hair at night, rub oil on my scalp, and pull my bonnet on because the real fear lays under our pillow. That comforts the dream, where I am not a loser, and I know how to be. The truth. Are you trying to rename my poem?
I was going to, but
you can rename it.
No, the truth works.
Okay.
Because if it was gonna be something like, Silk Bonnie.
Oh, because, well,
because that's your MO to pick poems that the name would be obvious.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like something that was like completely not even said in the poem.
Yeah.
But like the truth works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or lies under the pillow.
I like that. That's better. Okay, I'll take that one. You sold me on that. No vote necessary. Lies under the pillow. So I know you want a 2% credit, a 2% writing credit. You're not going to get it.
Oh, man. That's fine. I don't need it.
Thank you for being a nice guy about it.
Yeah, I try. Okay, so this one is one I've like edited multiple times, added to multiple times, and yeah. So this one is I Grieve Different. Inspired by Kendrick Lamar's United Grief song on his new album. I don't cry when I feel the tears come anymore. I don't know why, but instead of letting a tear drop, I go to my poetry and pour a shot out for them in it. It's been 402 days since you passed, and I thought about you the other day because I'm graduating. I know how proud you'd be, and and I thought about how proud you'd be of me. How do you want to be there in the bleachers yelling my name? But this isn't to. This isn't just to my grandmother. This is to. This is also to the ones who didn't have a chance to see me grow while they were here on Earth. Uncle Dibble, I would really wish I had more time with you. Your passing really messed me up. I guess it was because I really didn't get to know you. But you were the first family member's funeral I remember, and I realized how much of your love, humor, and joy I miss when I hear stories about you from my parents, uncles, cousins, and grandmother. I wish someone would invent a time machine so I could jump in it, see you again, and make some memories with you of my own.
Well, that was interesting.
Why is that?
That's the type of poem I don't feel comfortable commenting on because it's so personal. However, having heard the other versions of it, I definitely enjoyed this one more. I felt it was a little more explanatory and that it had more layers to it.
Yeah, it's still not done though. So,
Well, that's great.
yeah, I'm gonna still be adding to it. So, yeah. Wait, this is gonna be one of the poems that are definitely gonna be in my poetry book when it comes out. So.
Well, that's awesome. I think it's really cool that you're trying so hard with this poem because I know your typical style is not to revise and that you keep going back and reworking and rewriting. It feels as special as you're making it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I really might have to change my mic because this mic is trash. Or I might just change the cord. Who knows? Let's do that actually.
Okay. So while we do that, we're actually going to take a 10-minute break.
It's fine.
So it is currently 9:14. We will be back at 9:25, and 5 minutes after that, our guest, Tay Z, is going to call in.
It's fire.
So stay tuned. We'll be back at 9:25.
You'll also be seeing the behind the scenes of me fixing my mic while listening to some music.
Absolutely. Exclusives. Home of the exclusives.
Home of the exclusives. All right. Um, we're back. Well, we're back. We're back. We're back, K Bells. No, he didn't. Tiante.
Whoa. Hung up on
So he can call through the. I hope y'all can hear us clearly. Hear me clearly now. Yeah.
What? We didn't. Okay.
We're back.
Since Napoleon B. is running the show now.
We are back.
Just kidding.
I hope y'all can hear me clearly.
Okay, we figured out our technical difficulties. We are back, and Tay DZ is going to call in momentarily. So as we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to slam back at Napoleon B. Mike with my poem, and this poem is called Negative.
Negative. Okay.
So we can put this up on the docket for rename that poem because it's an old name. I never performed this. But I revised it. Like, I wrote this today. So I wrote it in the morning and I revised it this evening. So it is completely new, but the title is old. So we're looking for a new name.
Okay, K Bells.
Negative. How do I mold to lay again? They tell us piece by piece, brick by brick, and in time you'll have a house and a place to sleep. I ask again, how do I mold my brick? My house will be like no other. I will live as someone unseen, and they will tell me the same thing, which is the path they have taken, in the same typo. In the same breath over their shoulder, I hear, take a way less beaten. Then I sew my shoes from thread unused before, throw leather unduplicated, through leather. I'm going to start over. I have a few typos in here, so I apologize for that, and it's throwing off my flow. Okay, so I'm going to start again. Negative. How do I mold to lay again? They tell us, piece by piece, brick by brick, and in time you'll have a house and a place to sleep. I ask again, how do I mold my brick? My house will be like no other. I will live as someone unseen, and they will tell me the same thing, which is the path they have taken. In the same breath over their shoulder, I hear, take a way less beaten. Then I sew my shoes from thread unused before, through leather unduplicated. My soul on the floor, God's dirt awaited my traction. Hold your tongue, say no more, spoke a woman from the door. Ma'am, I begged, I know, my good Lord. His word escapes you, she tries. I say, no, he made the way at the sky. How do I mold to lay again? With bricks like no other, shoes unseen, and so unique. It seems no one on this earth can tell me anything. My house, my life, has walls, no walls, ceiling, no ceiling, vision, eyes closed, a knowing, a power, an instinct that answers to the rhythm of my soul. At the pace of my brush strokes written, spoken, 23 years, how do I mold to lay again? When 23,000 minds pressure my brick, life under the leaf as the pillow below my dream holds more life. Coolness, another chance, brick, more leather, thread. This is the truth in me, a continuous gift.
K Bells. Man, you should write more poems like that.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some good behind this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of this poem?
I named it Negative.
Brick by brick. Brick.
Brick by brick, okay.
Or how to build a house.
I like Brick by Brick better. Yeah, there are some other errors in this. I wish I had read the lines as I typed them because sometimes when I'm typing, I forget to type a word. And now that I'm reading it through, I'm trying to remember what word I forgot. And it's so interesting with poetry how every single word matters because of the spacing and the line breaks. So forgetting a word and not being able to remember it is very significant.
I have a poem that was supposed to be a rap, but I'm gonna read this as a poem.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's called Hunting Season. We were supposed to write and record music together, but since you wanted to get all up in your feelings and go off for no reason, I guess that will never happen. I was gonna say, don't come crying to me when your boyfriend cheats on you again. First of all, you talked about getting the facts straight. I never asked you out. Second of all, I went to your Bible study and church on Sunday, but had your boyfriend done that? No. One time, you said you was trying to get your boyfriend your boyfriend and I to meet, but the Sunday you was trying to make that happen, apparently your boyfriend's mother wouldn't let him go, and you didn't say anything to me about it until after the fact. Girl, you're a class A actress. I can't believe I actually gave you my trust. I'm not into sneak dissing or subtweeting, so I'm gonna put your name in this. I'm lyrically tagging you. My friends will probably try to talk me out of it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's it. I ended up not dropping her name because I was just angry. So
What was the inciting incident?
so the it was multiple things, right? So we were me and my group chat were just playing around. We were just messing around, just joking one another, right? And I she asked. This was when I was on in living at going to CCBC, and she was like, she was just she had asked who was on campus. I had said Ghost.
Okay.
The Ghost of Christmas Past, to be more exact. And she didn't like that apparently. I don't know why, but she just didn't like that joke.
That sounds rude.
Right. What, me or her?
I mean, you're like a ghost. So yeah, you.
Oh, man. But it was a joke. We
Okay.
had joked like that before. Well, someone else had made that joke.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna re-up. I'm gonna bag that joke.
Okay.
And she didn't like that apparently. And then she was like, so I have all the receipts from that chat. I still have the chat saved and everything, but I'm not gonna go back into that chat right now.
You can use text message conversations as, content for your poetry book. Just like copy paste, copy paste.
Yeah. I am. But long story short, we started roasting each other, and yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Dang. So why were you fighting with this woman? I can't believe you.
Oh, Anyway, it wasn't a fight
She
necessarily.
doesn't sound like an Amber Heard to me.
Oh my! She was a gaslighter.
Okay.
Okay.
This is an anti-hero's perspective. So,
Anyway,
I'm just kidding.
she was a gaslighter.
Yeah.
She was that person.
Okay.
That I don't like gaslighters.
So you didn't like her.
She was my first gaslighter ever. She was the first person that gaslighted me ever. And I'm
nerve of her.
Right.
She didn't know what she was getting.
Exactly. So I'm just like, all right, it's done. It's over with. Now I'm over it because it's just like, yeah, it's a done situation. So.
Dang. So that was really a diss track.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the anti-hero, the villain is back. Actually, I feel like you tried to disprove my point. You were like, you know what? When there's a girl involved, she's not. Well, she was the protagonist. Well, actually, you were the protagonist. You know. Yeah. Okay. Prove it wrong. Yeah. 1 for 100.
1 for 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we've got Tay DZ on the line.
Hi.
Okay, Tay DZ.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Tay DZ.
I don't think I hooked up Tay DZ's audio to the thing. Because I don't know what I'm doing. So listen to some music that's not playing.
It's okay.
We're on pause. Tay DZ, hang up and call back.
Oh.
Please.
Facts.
He did it.
Right.
Alright, well, while we're figuring that out, it seems like an appropriate thing to do. Okay, Tay DZ's back.
Back.
Now, okay, this is our first time doing this, just as a disclaimer, like adding a third person on this virtual call live.
Right.
So we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the poem be made. Solve it.
Hey, okay, we
What
see you talking, but we can't hear you.
You can't hear me. That's cute. Let me see.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, we figured it out on the Roadcaster. We had to unmute you via the USB port. Okay, so feeling like a technological genius over here.
Oh man.
Yes. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
So
Napoleon B. does stuff and has a problem, and I come with the answers. I'm just saying. I always bring my 20%. And when I'm the 80%, I want the 20% delivered to me.
Well, Tay DZ.
Oh, wow.
Would you do us a favor and get on camera?
I am on camera.
No, you're not.
You're definitely not on camera. Turn your camera on, please, sir.
Right.
The camera is on.
No, it's not.
I promise you it is.
We just see your
Your initials.
Yeah.
I can promise you right now. My camera's about as long as
We don't want to promise. We want something delivered.
then it looks like it got lost in shipment.
Oh well, on Skype you have no image coming through, so yeah, your logo on the stream.
I
Um,
don't know how.
okay, well, we don't know what to do about that either because that's something on your end.
Right. So anyway, um, KDZ, you and I have just recently graduated from Towson University. Well, I graduated.
I didn't realize that would be so loud, but you deserve it.
Yeah. So, well, I graduated in December, but you just graduated this semester, and we both walked across stage. So, how do you feel?
My God, I feel like at least $1 million with taxes, so about like $700,000. Really. But that's still pretty good. I feel pretty good about myself. It's an accomplishment.
No, it really, honestly, when I graduated, I didn't, well, now I guess I don't feel any different because just, it's been like 6 months. So, I
I
don't,
feel like it doesn't hit you until you start walking on stage, honestly.
yeah, it did, honestly, when I walked across stage, it was just like one of those times where I just was in the zone. I had asked my family to cheer extra loud this time because when I walked across stage at CCBC, I could barely hear them. But when I walked across stage this time, I was just in a I was just in a zone where I just didn't hear anything, you know, where I was just in the moment of with the person that was handing me my diploma or the paper thing, and I was just there. I was just in that moment. Didn't even hear my family like screaming. How was that for you?
I heard your family scream. It's pretty loud.
Okay.
Okay, they were there for the moment that was the bullet you made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for a few moments during that graduation. I clapped for a whole lot of people. People I knew, people I barely knew, people I was acquainted with, people who I only shared one word with. I was happy for everyone. As for me, though, I ran up and hugged that man handing me diplomas. I don't know who he was. I don't know. He could have been a thief robber. But in that one moment, it was me, it was him. He had my diploma. I
Right.
had him behind.
Right.
Isn't that the beauty of life and moments?
That is the truth. So, um, I'm gonna be honest. There was one person I didn't really cheer for, but that was a gaslighter that I dealt with.
Spill the tea.
So I have a poem for that. I have a poem that
It wasn't the poem you just read as a
no
warm up.
no that was not the gaslighter that I dealt with at CCBC. Right.
Okay, take it easy. Since you're on the line, we're expecting a live reaction to Napoleon Hill's Gaslighter poem.
This is B Mike's 50th poem about a woman.
Oh.
I kid. Please do.
Okay. Anyway.
Excuse me.
Um.
Okay. Wow, the faders are looking complicated.
So this one is called Gaslit. I still think about that night and how it could have ended differently or gone differently if I would have raised my voice and stood my ground instead of crawling to the side like a wounded dog I was. I imagine every moment. I remember the days and weeks leading up to it. I asked you if you were good, if we were good, and you would say, yes, I'm just going through something. And since we had talked so deeply just weeks before, I brushed it off, just one of those days. I imagine how differently things would have gone if you would have just talked to me about how you felt. I wish I would have asked deeper questions instead of brushing it off like it was one of those days. But you're a filmmaker and writer, and I'm just the audio guy, right? Wrong. I can say your name, but the people who know about the situation already know you, and are saying that saying your name will be wrong, right? No, but I'm not gonna do it because everyone who read or heard this poem would despise you, and you already have issues. So you like movies, right? Let me put this in a way you would understand. We're in a movie. You're making me believe I'm crazy and getting my friend in on it. Not that they know, because they were a part of the plan too. You told your friends everything but left me out of the loop. You know the movie yet? If not, it's gaslight. It may not be the exact plot, but it's close enough. But even if I would have been beaten that night, I would have held my ground. I would not I would not have been the only one wounded. I would have fought for my life respectfully.
Respectfully.
You sound pretty angry there.
Your phone. Oh, Tazy, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, you was holding that one in for me, weren't you, buddy?
I was. I actually didn't write that until like a few like months after it happened. Actually happened. So it was just one of those poems that I didn't know how to express how I felt until I wrote about it.
You know what? That is so genuine to what it's like writing about your true experience, especially when that experience, you can chalk that up in like the top 100 list of most negative people or experiences of your life. It's like first you need time to recover,
Right.
and then you need like time to develop a lens to reflect upon it, and then you need time to articulate it. So you saying that made me think of the play that I've been really trying to write for like maybe 9 months. But I had the idea back in November, but I felt like I didn't have anything to write about. And then I had something to write about in January, but the thing that I wanted to write about was very negative. Like it had a very negative impact like on my life and like my outlook. And then now that it's June, I finally feel like I can sit down and write about this experience because I have recovered from it and I have been able to even develop like a lens or a perspective on it. And now I'm in the phase, okay, now I can like articulate, I can put it into an art form. And actually one of the poems that I wanted to share today is kind of like the beginning lines of the play that I hope to bring together by the end of the year. I didn't realize what an ambitious project I was taking on. But to your poem about the gaslighter, that sounds like an awesome premise for a film.
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah, I agree.
And I feel there should be more films with female villains. This sounds like a great start to the trend of women shown gaslighting men. That's
Yes.
juicy.
Yes.
That's juicy.
Wasn't that the plot of a lot of films, like noir films from like the 40s and the 30s,
They
where like,
died. They died. I feel right because they were femme fatale, right?
yeah,
These are not femme fatale. They're going to live. It's going to be modern and twisted. Like, oh, you're gonna root for her, but at the same time, she's evil.
Facts.
Not evil like in character, but like evil for what she's doing.
Right. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely. So,
Hey, you sounded like you wanted to say a little more about that. That was a very packed.
I mean, in terms of Iman's poem, Iman in general is a very different form of telling poems, very prose-like, very much there is no structure, it's very free form. It sounds like you're very much spitting it off the top, and I thought it was very interesting. I always wondered, like I assume you write them, but I was always wonder like the process of writing them,
KDZ, don't dare back off. Don't dare back off. Now's our time. We know the poem B might that you have a ghostwriter. You're talking about ghosts. You're talking about a gaslighter. It's you. You're the one in cahoots with the Phantom.
Man. Am I in the cahoots with the Phantom? I mean, I mean, possibly, but but the my process is I feel something, I process it, I write about it. I feel something to sometimes to process it, I write about it, and that's pretty much my creative process.
Okay. Okay.
I understand. I've read a lot of stuff that I draw, a lot of stories that I make. I remember speaking of like writing things within the realm of fiction. I remember I tried writing a script based upon like uh I didn't know it at the time, but I guess sleep depression. But it was something where I just I didn't. I was talking before. I hated myself. Like legitimately, you asked me to name five things I like about myself. I could name one at a time. So when I was writing the script, I was writing from in the mindset of I hate myself. I'm gonna write a script about a protagonist who has no redeeming qualities and hates himself. And looking back on it, I'm like. Mm, Not an idea to write a story about somebody with no redeeming qualities. But I feel like I have to write a story about somebody who doesn't like himself. Once you, the writer, like yourself. That way, the character actually has redeeming qualities. They just see it within themselves. So I just found it very interesting how y'all are talking about writing something when you're currently in a situation, some emotional situation, as opposed to writing about it once you've moved.
Okay, so apparently we're having tech difficulties.
Yeah, that's very odd. Your audio just cut out.
Oh.
Oh, okay, you're back. So maybe that was something on your end. I mean, you are pretty far away. So if you could just repeat the last few lines you said.
I was just saying, I just thought it was interesting. You guys were talking about writing something, within while you're still feeling the emotions of the
Because you gotta
situation.
get it raw, TDZ. You've gotta get it. It's nothing like the
Exactly.
raw.
Exactly.
You can't duplicate that.
Exactly. Like when you try to when you're no longer feeling the emotion that you felt when you were writing it, it's hard to bring that emotion back to edit, so that you're not editing out your feelings.
It's like that's
But
the
see,
truth of it right there.
That's
You
why
know?
exactly. That's why I don't like really editing my poems because I'm like, it's once you're in a feeling, it's hard to come back. Once you're done with a feeling or an emotion, it's hard to bring yourself back to that feeling or emotion to keep that energy in the poem.
You can't recreate that voice. You can't duplicate that. But like
Exactly.
anything else you write in any sort of like mindset, you fall into I guess a conscious pattern or you have a small goal. But when it's raw emotion, that's it. That's a pure form. You're just a vessel. You're acting as a vessel for whatever is inside of you.
Yeah.
well, I I
I guess
guess
what I'm
what
trying
I'm
to say
trying to say
is
is what I was trying to
was
write was
not
not
going to
going to
be
be
a good
a good
story
story
when
when
I
I
was
was
in the
in the
moment,
moment,
and that's
and that's
only
only
because
because
you
you
can't write a
can't write a
protagonist who
protagonist who
doesn't like
doesn't like
themselves
themselves
and has
and
no
has no
redeeming
redeeming
qualities
qualities while you
that's
that's
based off
based
of
off of
you,
you,
because
because
then
then
the
the
character will
character will
legitimately not
legitimately
have
not
any
have any
redeeming
redeeming
qualities, and
qualities.
the
And the
point
point
is to
is
make
to
it
make
so
it
that
so that
they
they
do have
do have
redeeming
redeeming
qualities.
qualities.
Okay,
You
so
know.
hold up. Honestly, it sounds like it sounds like a poem that I would write.
I was thinking that. I was like, these are Napoleon Beamine's anti-hero and antagonist poems about himself. Like, I think you're trying to indirect my co-host. So, Teddy Z,
Yes, yes.
you're a special guest. However, you're about to get unspecial really fast. Explain yourself.
See,
See,
there's a
there's a
difference.
difference.
I
I
didn't
didn't
want
want
the
the
character,
character,
and even
and
looking
even
back
looking
on it
back on
now,
it
I didn't
now,
want
I
the
didn't want the
character to
character to
be an
be an
anti-hero.
anti-hero.
I could
I
have
could
made
have
them an
made them an
anti-hero,
anti-hero,
but
but
that would
that would
have.
have,
I'll put it to
I'll
you
put it to
like
you like
this: that
this,
would
that
have
would have
leered
leered
him.
him, that would
Steered
have
him
steered him
into
into
Joker
Joker
territory
territory
very
very
quickly.
quickly.
And
I didn't
I
want
didn't want
that.
that. You know what? You know what? That's crazy because Joker is one of my favorite villains. Did you
Did you
see the
see
newer?
the
I'm
new
talking
one?
about
I'm talking about like like
the
the
newer
newer
movie
movie
Joker,
Joker,
where
where
he's
he's
the
the
main
main
protagonist,
I
protagonist,
have not seen
and
that.
and
it's
it's
essentially a
essentially a
story you
story
would have
you would
written.
have
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I've been told that I need to watch it, and I have not gotten to it yet because of time. But yeah,
Okay, guys, we're in the last 5 or 4 minutes of our show, and
hold up,
Teddy
okay.
Z,
Wow, we started late.
we started late, and we can invite Teddy Z back next week. What do you want to get to, Napoleon B. Money?
I want to get to another poem.
I have another poem. It's my turn.
Okay, yeah, it is your turn.
Okay, so I prefaced a poem that I said could be the beginning working lines of my poetry play. So I'm going to read that right now. My house fell down. My house fell down, rubble laid to waste, saved no flesh, no cheer, only dust from empty knees. Okay, that was the first few lines of my potential poetry play. And this is a full poem that I'm about to read to you. And this is my final poem of the night. I have nothing else for tonight after this. This is called New Eyes. Give me new eyes to see the small things. Let me examine them until they're understood things. Because up close, this is the extra that makes ordinary.
Ooh.
That was my poem.
So my house fell down. The house, was that the title of the play?
I don't think that's the title of the play. I think that's the title of the first poem, or it may be a one-act play. So.
Okay. Well, I really like that title. That title fits the poem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Take it easy. You're unmuted.
I'm really interested because, new eyes, what are you trying to see differently?
That poem was very general. And I think I was just inspired by. I'm taking summer classes. I'm taking aesthetics this summer. And one of the things that my teacher pointed out was with, he said short films are economical, like they're economically friendly. And a common mistake he sees with student short films is that people take situations that are way too big and try to cram them into too few minutes. So he was saying you should pick a small thing and explore that thoroughly. And that was sort of marinating in my mind, and I was just thinking about, I want to look at the world in new eyes. I want to take notes of the small things that I notice and get in the habit of that, so that when I reflect, I can explore those thoroughly, and I can make better short stories. I can make better stories in general because I can more easily think through ideas, and that is an extraordinary skill.
Well, I think it's always how I interpreted it as I interpreted it as gaining fresh new perspectives on things you may either know about, you just want to learn more about, learn different sides about, or things you may not have known about. At least that's how I interpreted it in the show.
That's a fair interpretation. As the writer, I will accept that.
Honestly, when you said the title, I thought you was going to go more personal than general. I thought there was going to be something that someone else said that you wish that you saw in yourself.
Well, that's very introspective and actually very on brand, considering I usually write introspective poems. However, I would like to point out to you guys that all the poems I've read tonight, or most of them some of them have mentioned eyes. Like the renamed poem Brick by Brick kind of mentions like vision, eyes closed. An earlier one, Lies Under the Pillow, that was renamed because truth sits between my eyes. So I think that's a theme with me right now, trying to see things differently, trying to gain a new perspective.
Okay, here's my challenge for you. Right? Take something that someone said that was positive about yourself that you don't always see, and turn it into a poem.
So take someone else's compliment of me that I don't see and write a poem about it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Oh boy. All of my compliments are about to be under a major microscope.
I didn't think about you.
Oh man.
I was not.
Oh man.
Dust. Just dust. You know that? That's squeaking. Okay, well, I appreciate that prompt. And I want to give you a prompt.
Okay.
I want you to fully make yourself the hero of your own story. I feel some of the poems you read tonight were sort of in the threshold of self-advocacy, but you hadn't fully stepped through the doorway. You haven't put both feet in, all 10 toes down into advocating for yourself. So I want you to write a poem from your own perspective where you are the hero.
From my own perspective.
Yes. You're the hero. The girl can't be the main character. You can't be the antagonist or the anti-hero. You are a likable protagonist. You're the hero.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we both given each other a challenge. These poems will be read next week.
Oh my. Okay. Let me make sure to write this down properly. I accept the challenge.
So I need to make myself the hero in my poems.
Yes.
From my eyes.
Yes.
Not from somebody else's.
Yes.
Okay.
Tazy, what do you think about our prompts?
I think both are very interesting. I already commented on yours. I will not walk back onto that line. Although that is a very interesting prompt. And as for you, be Mike, look, if you can do that, I'd be impressed because a lot of your poems.
No.
I'll let you compliment my co-host.
Hold on. Let me say something. I am just like I'm seeing how hard I'm like trying to figure out how I'm gonna write this poem because it's sometimes it's hard for me to look at myself in a positive light. I'm gonna be honest. So the fact that KDZ said that made it even more of a open realization to myself. I don't take offense to that. I just realize that like I need to look at myself more in a positive light and write about it more.
Okay.
See, I can tell be Mike these things. That's my boy.
That's not going to stop me from saying what I want to say. I want to say, don't come for my co-host like that. I don't like that you're underestimating his ability.
I underestimate myself sometimes, so I understand.
That
I didn't underestimate
the
him.
right to not give Napoleon V. Mike the benefit of the doubt. We're all about positivity here.
You're
You know,
right.
this is an encouraging space right now. It is safe. And I feel you've endangered it with your words. So.
I didn't. I have full faith in Napoleon B. Mike. I know he can do it.
Now you do. Thank you.
I've always believed in B. I am B. Mike. Have I not been your best cheerleader since at least day 7?
Napoleon, you might not be soft on him because we know that you've got a new cheerleader in your corner who's just number one. So,
That's facts.
Tazy. The rivalry is too great. You're outmatched here.
That's right.
Who's been your ride or die since last year?
Longevity
B. Mike's on up.
does not count here.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just kidding. I'm making up stuff.
Okay. I have one last poem for the night. I've read this before, and I feel like I'm going to edit this for the new situation that I'm in, but here it goes. Affection. Drunk on it, sipping on it every time we text. I don't care for the lack of attention. I'm used to it. I guess I shouldn't have shown you that poem because it feels like you're using it against me now. I could be wrong in overthinking it, but I'd rather have your hand in mine or your lips pressed against mine, but they're not. You're working on a paper, and I'm at work writing this about you. Maybe. I could be talking about someone else, but the world may never know. I have shown that poem to multiple people like I've hung it on the fridge of my life, like it's one of my proudest pieces of work because it is. Sorry, my train of thought is off the rails, but affection is something I crave. I want it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be from you. I will find another woman to give me what I want, but I want it from you.
Hanging on the fridge of your life.
Yeah.
That was
That's
deep.
cool.
Well, that poem, the poem that I'm referring to is Masochist.
Oh, that. Daisy, what are your thoughts?
Hey,
This
this
was
was
to your
to
new
your new
situation.
situation.
No, I'm going to revise it or add to it for my new situation.
Okay. I
I
like
like
that
that
you I like
all
that
your
all your
poems are
poems are
living.
living. Right?
Yeah.
They're
I
living, breathing.
yeah.
They
I've
keep
even
scrolling.
written a poem about how my poems are personified.
Your
Poems
poems
have
have
life
life
because they're
because they're
always
always
changing. They're
changing.
always
They're always
evolving. They
evolving.
don't
They don't
stay the
stay the
same.
same.
They
They
grow up.
grow up.
They
They
grow
grow
old.
old.
They have
They have
families,
families, and
sometimes they
sometimes
have
they have midlife crisis.
they have families and AARP memberships.
What are we into? Okay, well, I can't wait to hear the revised version of that poem because right now it's hard for me to put it in perspective or the context that you're imagining it in.
Yeah,
So,
so this one I wrote in December of 2021.
6 months ago.
Yeah. Um, I, I just like I said, it was about a fling that turned out to be nothing. I thought it was going somewhere, but it turned out to be going nowhere. But down a cliff into a abyss full of acid and just fire.
So, oh, go ahead, Katie. Z.
No, that's all I had to say was what?
Yeah, it started off good, but then it just dived, cliff dived head first into yeah, an abyss of acid and fire.
In that poem, you're talking about kissing.
Yeah,
So, it makes me a little more reflective on that part since you said that it started out as a plan and it's fizzled out, basically.
yeah.
And I know that when you do too much physical stuff in a relationship too soon, it becomes distracting. So I'm saying that maybe a lesson in that is you get to know a person first to see if they're worth it or to see what it is before you get all those feelings intertwined.
So that's actually part of the poem. Sorry to the uh, one of the ones I read today. To the women I thought I loved. Like that
Wow.
was um that was a piece that I didn't add, but I will add. Yeah. So that's actually what happened to with those people, with those women. I it got physical too fast, and I thought I because of even before the physical, I um I was attracted to them, and we had conversations, and I thought yeah.
Okay, wow. Tay Z, you're a man. What is your perspective on this?
Uh,
Uh,
that giggle though.
I mean,
Flings.
flings. I don't think any
Flings
flings
seem so
seem so
pointless
pointless
to
to
me
me
in any
in
form.
any form.
So,
So,
but I
but I
guess
guess Maybe sometimes man life can't control what becomes a fling and what doesn't. But he might. What do you feel more comfortable with? I mean, you say that you're a man of you know you're a man of loyalty. And I know you are, and I can tell very much so that you're a man of loyalty. How do flings make
Katie
you
Z, you are
feel?
deflecting.
Oh
You're
my
deflecting like nobody's business. I'm regretting
I
giving you the mic at this point because you
I
have
answered
deflected.
I answered the
No,
question in the
he
beginning.
did answer the question
Flings.
in the beginning, and then he turns
Oh.
it to me. So
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Finish your statement, take it easy.
Oh, I mean, if we add more to it, I mean, gosh, woof. I don't know. They just feel so impersonal. They feel so sad, and I never, like there's an underlying tinge of sadness beneath me. The kind of sadness that I feel like doesn't get reflected a lot.
No, I'm gonna be honest. The flings were definitely because I was in a dark place. I
Mm,
wasn't really I wasn't really the type to I was just wasn't looking at myself in a positive light at all. Like I saw no redeeming qualities about myself.
which is sad because I've been in that place before. I understand 100% what it's like to not have any redeeming qualities. Even when somebody tells you they see redeeming qualities in you, and then you're just like, no, that's not really true because you name up like a million things
Right,
that you believe is wrong with you.
right. And I just needed that affection, that feeling of being loved.
Affection is a drug.
That's that's that
So you're
poem
an affection addict.
as well. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm a loveaholic and a affection addict.
Dang. That's like, what is that? Alcohol and cocaine.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Affection is something you get drunk on, and love is something that makes you feel high, like you can conquer anything.
You can flip those.
Yeah, I mean either or, but like that's a poem.
Yeah.
That's a poem. Yo, that's a poem.
Okay.
That's a poem. Yo.
So speaking of creating new poems, we have some deadlines coming up. So since it's June, next month is July, we're supposed to have our projects finished by next month. Now I already announced that I've only written the first few lines of my proposed play. And how's your book coming? It sounds like you're making good progress on your book, to be honest.
I haven't gotten it. The only thing that I haven't done, well, it's not finished. That's the thing. I'm adding new poems every day. So, or every time I write, that's a new poem that is going in this book.
Right.
I haven't gotten it looked over or edited in any way, shape, or form.
Ooh.
So, um, so yeah, that's something I'm behind in. I haven't gotten a publisher yet. Um, yeah.
So let's adjust our goal. It's still going to be a rush job, but we have to rush to a completion.
Right.
So, how about we get a rough draft?
Mm-hmm. Of our projects
Yes, of our projects.
by July.
Uh,
July 10th. July 11th.
okay, July 11th.
Because that's in between both of our birthdays.
Okay, cool.
So,
So, rough draft of play, rough draft of book.
July 11th.
Man,
All right.
that's our show. Thank you so much, TDZ, for featuring as the Skype logo.
Yeah.
I wish I don't know why it's not working. There are no other things on my side that I have checked. So. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Take Easy. We look forward to you calling again next Friday because our show's on Friday nights now.
Right. We moved to a new day. We still have the same time,
Yeah,
but we moved to a new day. We're working on getting our poetry connections up,
yeah,
getting our music connections up,
yeah,
so that we can have more guests
yeah.
for the months of June, July, and August.
Definitely that. So,
So stay tuned for that. Um, we will be implementing this Skype call-in system from now on. For those guests who can't come into the studio.
right?
Um, do you have anything else you want to say, Karen?
Yeah, stay tuned to Poetry Slam. This was Poetry Slam with K-Bounce.
And your boy Napoleon B. Mike.
Good night.
Have a good night, y'all.